Good day, everyone. This is Chantay, aka y'all know the Instagram name Shanteezy. So I am here with a short analysis. I'm not going to be long because I know it's late and everybody wants to get into the bed. So I'm just going to make this quick and jiffy as possible so you can all get up in the morning, because I know some of you are essential workers, or some of you got to go in the office, or some of you just stay home. So here we are. The coronavirus, as of August 26, 2020, globally we are at 24,028,537 cases of COVID-19 throughout 188 countries, with the death toll at 822,403. Here at home in the U.S., we have 5,817,538, with our death toll at 179,596. Now, in these countries, we have Brazil at 3.6 million. We have India at 3.2 million. We have Russia at, I'm about to get to Haiti next, so stay in for Haiti. So we are at, in Russia, we had 968,297. South Africa, 615,701. Peru 607,382, Mexico 568,621, Colombia 562,113, Spain 409,849, and Chile at 402,365. In Ecuador we at 110,549, Dominican Republic 92,557, Panama 88,381, Guatemala 70,714, Honduras 55,877, and El Salvador 140. Nigeria 53,021, Ghana 43,769, Kenya 33,016, Cameroon 18,973, Senegal 13,186, and Gambia 2,708. Now Haiti has 8,122. Haiti's population is at 11,000,002 or 11,000,001, according to Google. Their neighboring country, Dominican Republic, has 92,000. I don't know if that's an onset, but that isn't. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know what's going on in Haiti. Hopefully, I guess they're trying to access for aid. I don't know what's going on, because a lot of these countries are on level 3 for travel. Like, you cannot go to these countries because their cases of coronavirus is spiking. Bahamas 1,765, Jamaica 1,732, Trinidad and Tobago 1,411, Guyana 1,093, Belize 760, Barbados 164, Antigua 94, St. Vincent 58, St. Lucia 26, Grenada 24, Dominica 20, and St. Kitts at 17. Yikes. Yeah, people still traveling to Haiti. That's crazy. And the New York Times COVID map in the States, we have California at 687,277, Texas 618,267, Florida they have 608,714. New York, which was the epicenter of all this, is now at 436,063. Georgia 244,494. Illinois 227,775. Arizona 199,494. New Jersey 192,086. North Carolina 159,678, and rounding out the top 10, Louisiana 145,123. I think Massachusetts has somewhere in the 100s, but their curve has flattened because Massachusetts was the top 3 of the most cases back in April, early April. Now they dropped down to probably like the 15th or the 16th because the curve did slow down in Massachusetts. So Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey, cases are, and Connecticut cases are actually flattening in those states, and Rhode Island, the New England, and some parts of the Northeast states are flattening. As of the rest of the country, their cases are like going up, massive numbers. I didn't get the chance to get the counties, so I'm leaving that out. I didn't get the county states, but of course, like I said, we have no plan, literally no plan, like no plan to combat COVID. We have almost 180,000 people dead. They projected like 300,000 people supposed to be dead by December. That's a big, big number. And I'm praying for all these countries, because every country mostly on the globe is on level 3 traveling, according to the CDC. There's only a few countries that's on level 1 that you can go to, like the Fiji Islands you would go to. I think Grenada you can go to, because Grenada only has 24 cases. Dominica, I think, is on that list, and St. Kitts. But some of these countries are not letting people in. They just slowly open up their country. So they're not letting outsiders in. I understand, because the cases everywhere is going up in massive numbers. And there's already 3 countries in the millions, and a 4th one, which is Russia, is going to go into the millions. So that's where we are in terms of whatever. Now, in terms of the politics of everything that's going on, I guess you guys heard of the shooting of Jacob Blake. Jacob Blake actually survived. He is paralyzed from the waist down. There's a possibility he may never walk again. That is sad. I didn't get his age, but I know he had 3 children. He was actually stopping a fight from happening in the street, and he was shot several times in his back. So the back, the spine gets you to walk. And so the fact is that he's paralyzed from the waist down, and he's such a young man. That's very huge. There was a press conference today with the Attorney General of Wisconsin and the DA of Kenosha. And they said the investigation is going on. They mentioned that he had a blade on him. That had nothing to do with what happened, of how he was shot. He's also on administrative leave, but they need to be fired and arrested, because they did not use the proper precaution of assessing the situation. Instead, they shot him while he was going to his car with his kids. Like, there's a video, there's a viral video. It's a very disturbing video. So you should see it, but it's very disturbing. I'm just warning you. So that's what's going on. But what I liked is the WNBA, the NBA, and some Major League Baseball teams have all postponed their games. I guess to further notice, to stand in solidarity with Jacob White and the Black Lives Matter protests. And speaking of the protests in Kenosha, there's still ongoing protests in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And there was a 17-year-old armed shooter who shot 3 people, killed 2 people, and 1 is critically injured, fighting for his life. And when there was a press conference with the cops, they basically dismissed it and said that he was trying to help people by shooting protesters. Nah. Like, what I don't like, and I don't want to be biased, is the fact is that when it's a black person shooting people, we degrade them. We throw them to jail. We throw all kinds of names on them. But when it comes to, yep. But when it comes to white people with guns, armed, like not just regular guns, but assault weapons. It looked like he had an assault weapon in that video. Shooting people, they dismiss it and say like, oh, he was trying to help people. No, he wasn't. His intent was to shoot people. I don't know, was he influenced by Donald Trump? I don't know his politics. I have no idea. And he shouldn't have a weapon. He was 17 years old. But he's being tried as an adult. He's being charged with, I think, 1st-degree murder, I think. I'm not quite sure what the charges are, but I'm assuming that's what it is. But yeah, we this has to stop. And it's the culture coming from atop. And everybody's like, why are you blaming Donald Trump? Because he is the one that's saying when the looting starts, the shooting starts. That is bad rhetoric coming from the White House when you have to, heal the nation when it comes to systemic racism. And they said it tonight in there, and I'm about to get into the convention, that they don't believe in there's no systemic racism in this country, when it's a total lie. I'm kind of a victim of systemic racism. I mean, come on, like, I've been applying for jobs, and even before growing up, or coming out of college back in another recession 12 years ago, I felt like I was denied jobs because of my race. And because I didn't look like the typical, college grad black girl with straight hair, I had my hair back in a ponytail. And then now that I have natural hair, they're like, oh, that's too black. You even got some of your black people that's part of that systemic issue too. Because it's not just all white people, it's black people too. It's the condition of our society. It's really bad. So that's where we are in America. It sucks. We have to have these conversations in the third decade of the 21st century, but it's better late than never. It's sad to say that, but it's true. And it is terrible, Tova. It's very terrible. Very terrible, So that's where we are. Now, just to end this last, so people like, why did you watch the RNC? I watched the DNC. The DNC was amazing. I am a lifelong Democrat, and I will be voting for Biden and Harris because Kamala Harris was my first choice. However, it's a lot of lies. And they were fact-checked because I watched on MSNBC. MSNBC, make sure they fact-checked every single thing. Those women, Rachel Maddow, Joy Reid, Nicole Wallace, they're amazing. They've been covering politics for quite a while, and I liked it. We all know that Kristi Noem is a liar. That's the governor of North Dakota, who's a science denier. She lied about a couple things with with the cities, New York, Seattle, saying they're crime infested. People flee these cities because it was crime infested. Some people fled the cities because they couldn't afford to live here because they lost their jobs during the height of the pandemic, especially here in New York. A lot of people in New York don't really have those high power jobs, right? Some of them have middle income jobs that cut their staffing, or those low paying jobs that cut their staffing. And some of them live in apartments with 2 or 3 or 4 other people. Couldn't afford to live here. Rent is expensive. And it's not just rent and expensive. And Boston too. Listen, I went to school. Tova, we went to Pine Manor. I thought, Massachusetts was less expensive than New York. That was a whole entire forced lie. Coming to talking to people like, no, Boston's expensive. And I'm pretty sure, and Seattle's even more expensive than New York. So it's just like, it's a big disconnect going on there, right? And Atlanta's is starting to get expensive too. So there you have it. But people are not fleeing because of the crime. The crime is the least of the goddamn problem. Donald Trump is making stuff bigger than what it is. He's making it bigger what it is. With him adding federal agents is making actually things worse for local elected officials and state elected officials. It's making things worse. It's not making things better. Kellyanne Conway saying that Trump empowers women. That's a lie. That's a whole entire lie. Donald Trump never empowers women. It's farce. Lou Holtz, who is the former Notre Dame coach, said Trump has the best interest for the country. He encouraged everyone to vote for Trump, and then he questions Joe Biden's Catholic. I said, and he said Joe Biden is a Catholic in his name own. I don't know what that means. Questioning Joe Biden's faith. Because he questioned Joe Biden's faith, say a Catholic in name own. I guess I wrote it wrong. But he basically questioned Joe Biden's faith. Joe Biden will be the second, if elected, will be the second president in the United States to be a Roman Catholic. The first Roman Catholic was John F. Kennedy. So yeah, no. Also, Catherine, the youngest guy who will be the youngest guy elected in the office, younger than Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. He said, you can kneel, but stand for your flag. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but yeah. And he's paralyzed and he's standing with his braces thinking, I can stand too. Whatever. And then Jack Brewer, the NFL player who is now he says he's a lifelong Democrat voting for Donald Trump, say, I know what racism looked like. And he's very upset that the media portrayed Donald Trump as such. And he said, Trump said it was very, he said the media lied, said Trump said it was very fine white supremacists on both sides. No, it was, he said there were very fine people on both sides. That was fact checked as well. And Led Zeppelin of New York, Long Island, lied about the Trump delivering the PPE to New York State when both my mayor, as much as he get on my nerves, my mayor and definitely my governor cried out for more federal assistance, that the Army Corps of Engineers had to come here and help us out because our strand of coronavirus came from countries such as Spain, France, and Italy. Not China. By the time the virus was already on the other side of the United States, it already spread it through Europe and Russia and Africa and India. I'm just saying. And the rest of Asia, the rest of Asia. And Boston strand came from Europe too, because that's the second neighboring city to fly from Europe. It's New York, then Boston, and DC, but mostly New York and Boston. Sounds about right. Also, Laura Trump lied about the women unemployment rate went down under Trump since World War II. According to PolitiFact, the unemployment rate went from 8.7 back in 2010 under President Obama to 4.7 as President Obama left. So overall, this is a whole entire lie. Pence did a lot of lying in the speech. I'll just say one thing because that would be a whole nother segment of that. But he said that Joe Biden wants to defund the police. You won't be safe in this America. Let's just make this clear. Joe Biden does not want to defund the police. He want to fund more money to the police than actually defund them. But he wants to give them more training. He wants to reform the police, not defund it. His running mate, on the other hand, is actually for not funding more money to the police. Reforming the police. And possibly demilitarizing the police. So there you have it. There you go. I mean, this convention was not a convention. It's an authoritarian style praising Donald Trump. But now you know which candidate is who. And I'm not telling what people and which way you should vote. But if you vote for Donald Trump or not vote, which that supports Trump, you will be in your house for another 4 years. The coronavirus will not go away. You will see an economic depression It will be like the 1930s all over again. So let that sink in. But until then, thank you for tuning in. If you want to catch more, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You guys have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place.